Tonight on CTV News at 6. Easy does it.
Winter driving is extremely unpredictable. It comes down to me, three things: planning, positioning, and patience.
How many more crashes are there in Sudbury this year compared to 2025? Efforts are paying off.
Back in 2005, we had a life expectancy of 2029, and our latest stat show that we've extended it to 2039.
The city of North Bay saw record low waste heading to landfill last year. And celebrating winter in Sault Ste. Marie.
We have a really awesome opening night with Silent Nine inside tonight.
A community is coming together for the Soo Winter Carnival.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Friday. North Bay Police now confirm remains found on Mulligan Street earlier this week are that of a missing 62-year-old man. The man, only identified as Pierre, hadn't been seen since January 30th. Investigators say the body found February 9th on Mulligan Street has been identified as Pierre. The death is suspicious, but police have not provided any more information. Another body was found the same day, but police do not believe the two cases are connected. A 41-year-old Sault Ste. Marie man charged with sexually assaulting two inmates at the Algoma Treatment and Remand Center while he was employed there has been charged with several more offenses. It was last October when the suspect had been charged with 4 offenses after a police investigation found he had allegedly sexually assaulted 2 inmates while he was employed at the center. Sault police say further investigation has identified 3 more victims and more incidents involving breaches of trust as a public officer, indecent acts, and sexual assaults. It's winter and sometimes it's slick out there. Greater Sudbury police say there were more than double the number of collisions in the city last month than last January. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
Sharon Marchione has been a driving instructor for 8 years. She demonstrates how long it takes to stop in this parking lot on snow with studded tires.
See a little bit of my tracks here where before she came to a full stop. And I had her up to 46 kilometers an hour when I hit the brake.
Marchione says winter driving comes down to 3 words.
Winter driving is extremely unpredictable. It comes down to me, 3 things: planning, positioning, and patience.
Greater Sudbury police say last month the number of collisions was more than double January of 2025.
This year, we did see a report of over 1,000 collisions in Greater Sudbury in comparison to around 420 collisions reported in 2025. The majority of these collisions were minor in nature and were as a result of individuals following too closely during poor weather or road conditions.
Back in the driving instructor's car, Marchione says the length of distance it takes to stop your vehicle has to have reaction time and braking distance.
Even if it looks like you have bare pavement, in the warmer weather that we're expecting over the next couple of weeks, we are going to have higher indicators of black ice.
She says some drivers with experience tend to get overconfident.
We drive a little too fast, and we forget sometimes that we have a lot of new Canadians who have never seen snow before. And they have no idea of the impact, no pun intended, that driving improperly on the snow can have when they're driving.
Marchione says driving safely on the roads in Northern Ontario requires winter tires. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
And when you're driving, you have to watch other motorists and also navigate your way around the potholes that are starting to appear. CTV's Madison Merrier has more from Sudbury.
Small crews have been out in the community doing what they can to patch visible potholes before the thaw comes into full effect.
Over the winter, we have supervision on 24 hours a day, and they're patrolling roads and looking for problems on the road. So they're identifying potholes as they come up. The pothole crews, as we find problems, will dispatch the crews to go repair them.
I haven't had a lot of concerns. I think from things that I've seen on social media that people are relatively pleased that they're seeing the crews out in advance and so much earlier than we're used to.
RACA is recommending people report potholes to 311. It's not assumed the city knows about them, especially as the weather gets warmer during the coming months.
With potholes, we really just have to see what happens. Though it'll really depend on how many freeze-thaw cycles we have over the winter. Every time it gets warm during the day and that snow melts and water gets into the cracks in the road, at night when it gets cold again, it starts to freeze and it pops the asphalt and we create potholes.
In the past, the city has purchased the Python 5000 in hopes of making road construction quicker and easier. However, since its purchase in 2021, the machine has presented some issues.
We've had some challenges in keeping it on the road, so we're at a point now where we're looking at, does it still make sense to continue trying to use that piece of equipment, or can we reinvest those funds into other alternative methods to, repair our roads?
RACA said the winter repairs are a reactive response to weather conditions. During the summer months, the city will grind it out and complete a quality patch. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Efforts over the past few years to extend the life of the Merrick Landfill in North Bay are making a difference. That story from CTV's Eric Tashner.
Curbing the waste that ends up in the Merrick Landfill is the name of the game for the city of North Bay. From limiting the number of garbage bags being picked up on the curb to expanding what materials can be placed in the blue bin.
Wrappers, plastic such as bags is a big one. Everything from dog food bags, coffee cups.
In 2025, the city marked a record low for domestic, commercial, and non-hazardous industrial materials that were sent to the Merrick Landfill of 35,000 tons, continuing a year-over-year downward trend over the last half a decade.
Back in 2005, we had a life expectancy of 2029, and our latest stat show that we've extended it to 2039.
When it opened in 1995, the city recorded more than 38,000 tons disposed of at the landfill. Then in 2009, total waste had increased to more than 50,000 tons and remained above 40,000 until 2022.
The momentum of 7 years actually of clean, green, beautiful litter pickups has changed our culture. And we really are one of the cleanest cities in Canada.
Over recent years, the city has expanded recycling in public spaces and at city facilities. The city has also been recognized with Municipal Waste Association Promotion and Education Awards for its education programs. Last year, it won an award for increasing recycling in local arenas, and in 2024, city officials went into schools to teach students about the 3 R's.
The students then gave posters to the city, and we put them on our social media pages, really teaching the residents about different ways to divert.
There are more than 3 R's. There are at least 9 of them, repurpose, refurbish, rethink, recreate.
The city says it plans to continue to strengthen its waste diversion efforts, including its messaging and community outreach. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Mining giant Vale is adjusting water levels and flows across the Spanish River system. It's to support construction of its Nairn Falls Generating Station spillway replacement project. That means ice conditions could become unsafe. Affected bodies of water include Agnew Lake, which will see an accelerated drawdown of 3/4 of a foot. Ramsey Lake, not in Sudbury, but near the watershed, and Biscotasing Lake will see their levels rise by 1/2 foot. The Spanish River flows will decrease in early March, along with the water at Nairn Falls. Residents are encouraged to remove ice huts before March 1st, and motorized and recreation vehicles should stay off the ice. So let's turn our attention to the weather now. Some snow flurry activity, and temperatures were spot on for this time of year. To tell us more, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
Spot on, bang on. We're into the weekend, Tony. This is our forecast radar. Our systems map, actually courtesy of, Environment Canada. This is what we've got leaving the system in the Northeast. So we had precipitation, 5-6 centimeters in Greater Sudbury, but not a bad day. It was heavy at times, but there's also the risk of freezing drizzle throughout the Northeast this evening. So there will be some flurry activity, but also the risk of freezing drizzle. So depending on where you live, you may be affected, but no wild and crazy wind chills to worry about heading into tomorrow. Should be a half-decent day tomorrow. Heading into Sunday and Monday, some warmer temperatures. Details coming up, including our currents just minutes away. Tony?
Thanks so much for that, Rick. Sault Ste. Marie's annual Winter Carnival is now underway. Just a few hours ago, we checked out the work to get everything ready for the opening ceremony. The machine shop in the Canal District is the site for much of the Bon Soo action. Volunteers were there early this morning, ensuring things would be ready in time for the 63rd annual carnival. The bump slides are complete, with workers testing things out for the safety of the children, of course. Organizers say the carnival is always changing.
We've got some great new food vendors this year, same old amazing bump slides and fireworks show. We have free skating on the rink tonight, so everyone's welcome to bring their skates down and catch whatever part of the evening from there that they'd like to. And then we have a really awesome opening night with Silent 9 inside tonight.
And fireworks are scheduled for 7:30 p.m. A full rundown of Bon Soo events is posted on its website. The Winter Carnival runs until the 21st. The Premier is standing down. Still to come on CTV News at 6. Premier Ford decides not to pull Crown Royal off LCBO shelves. But first, we're off to the International Bridge linking the Twin Saults. This live webcam is courtesy of the International Bridge Administration. It's -2 degrees. We will return in just a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford has called off plans to remove Crown Royal products from LCBO shelves. The Premier says he's withdrawing the threat to remove those products now that the parent company has agreed to spend $23 million in Ontario. Ford had been warning he might take this step in response to the closure of a Windsor area Crown Royal bottling plant. The deal includes a pledge from the company to spend $11 million to buy grain-neutral spirits from Eastern Ontario. The company says it's pleased Crown Royal will remain on LCBO shelves. Post-secondary institutions in Sudbury are reacting to the $6.4 billion provincial investment announced yesterday. The funding targets in-demand sectors like healthcare and skilled trades. The Sudbury Partnership for Higher Education, which includes Laurentian University, Cambrian, Boreal, and Nossim University, says the deal will support long-term sustainability for the post-secondary sector. The province is lifting the tuition freeze and shifting OSAP to 75% loans, a drop from the 80% grant model. Laurentian's president says while costs are rising, she doesn't expect a drop in applicants.
I don't think it should. It is a modest increase, and Laurentian University's tuition will continue to be some of the lowest in the province. So an education at Laurentian is still really affordable. We'll also work with our financial aid people to make sure that students who need support can get it, including the wonderful new bursaries through the Joyce Family Foundation, from which we received a $2 million donation a few months ago.
And the new tuition rates and loan structure take effect this fall. High school students across all 4 Sudbury school boards put their business skills to the test today. The 3rd annual Startup Summit Challenge sees grade 12 students work under the guidance of upper year mentors to develop business plans and polish their public speaking. Hosted by the Laurentian University Business Council, the event was nearly canceled this year due to the recent strike on campus. Despite those challenges, organizers and students say the hands-on competition is critical for turning classroom theory into real-world entrepreneurial skills.
A lot of high schools were hesitant to come. They didn't want to cross the picket line if it was still happening. So we tried our best. It almost didn't happen this year, but I really wanted it to happen. I wanted to give the students the opportunity to come and experience an event like this. This is something I didn't have in high school, And I find it's very important, like I said, to especially spark that entrepreneurial side for students.
Many students learn about business and business practices and implementing the tools, whether it's a SWOT analysis or some other document and analysis, and now to actually put it in practice and compete against other students. I think that competition aspect is really the best part.
I'm an aspiring business student, so this is great practice for networking, you know, meeting people that maybe work at Laurentian, real life case studies, critical thinking, learning to think on my feet. So it's not only setting long-term skills and building like real practices as well as just real-world experience.
Organizers say students look forward to the event each year. Northern Ontario's sweetest export will be front and center as Sault Ste. Marie was named the host of a North America-wide conference this fall. A fifth-generation maple producer helped tap the first maple of the season as Soo officials made the announcement that the Lock City would be the site of the annual gathering for the 2026 North American Maple Syrup Council. Upwards of 200 visitors are expected at the conference, which runs from October 19th to the 23rd. It will include a maple grading school. This is the first time the event will be held in the North and will bring together maple syrup producers, processors, researchers, and industry partners from around the globe.
The industry is always changing and advancing, so even though I'm a fourth generation, we still have things to learn, and we're still currently improving our operation as well. So, and then to be able to mingle with producers from different regions and to be able to bounce ideas off each other, it's just a great opportunity.
We're talking about hundreds of participants coming from all over to stay across Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma and experience this place for the first time or perhaps again. And they will get to see firsthand that I know that we have some of the best maple syrup production in the world right here.
It showcases not just to this conference, but to other conference organizers that we have the capacity to host events like this. And so it opens up the door to other conferences if we can pull it off successfully. It also opens up the door to tourists that maybe have never been here and that are spending money.
And the conference is open to all sizes of maple producers and is funded through a $75,000 investment from FedNor. Back now for a check on your current conditions. Once again, here's Rick.
Interesting day to start off the weekend with precipitation across northeastern Ontario. Our forecast radar right now calling for a little bit coming up on Sunday at around supper time. And really nothing to worry about over the course of the next several days in terms of appreciable precipitation. Let's take a look at our current temperatures this hour. -10 in Moosonee, a lot warmer than it was last night. -3 in Cochrane, -3 in Timmins, Kapuskasing -2, some traces of snow throughout the area. Chapleau -3, light snow. Wawa at 0, Sault Ste. Marie at -3. As well, Parry Sound -5, some light snow there. In North Bay, -6, Temiskaming Shores -4, and Kirkland Lake -2 this hour. Greater Sudbury -4, Espanola light snow -4, -3 in Elliott Lake, and Gore Bay at -2. Tony coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll check out the 7-day forecast. And of course, what would be a forecast if we didn't have the pick of the day? That and more all coming up just minutes away.
Thanks so much for that, Rick. Where does it go from here? Next on CTV News at 6, the lasting impact of a mass shooting in the small BC community of Tumbler Ridge. And songs written by and performed by Northern artists. A concert is coming up this weekend in Sudbury. The small community of Tumbler Ridge, BC is deeply shaken by the events of this week, and the effects of this tragedy will last long after the politicians have gone. CTV's Kathy Lee has been speaking to members of the community.
Despite the devastation, there is compassion and care from everyone I've spoken to. It's a testament to how close everyone is in Tumbler Ridge.
Amber Bell's love language is cooking. In the depths of profound grief, she is still making sure her community is fed.
My daughter and my husband
and I went around to every single house last night and brought food.
The nourishment for those navigating a nightmare after 8 people, mostly children, were shot at the secondary school and this home in Tumbler Ridge. Belle's 2 children were in class at that time. They are safe, but her heart aches for the young ones that didn't make it out, all of whom she knew personally.
They were all so amazing in their own right, but for us personally, the loss of Kylie is devastating. She was a part of our family too. We've known her her whole life.
But even in her despair, the mother is buoyed by the support.
I feel the support. I can feel the love of the country, community.
In a community where everyone knows each other by name, the love is felt at every corner.
I've only been here 5 years, and I haven't lost that, but you know what? They're my kids too. They're my kids too.
This town has been through other difficult times, like a wildfire in the past, and they say they were resilient and overcame that, and will do the same this time by leaning on one another, as they always do. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Tumbler Ridge, BC.
The growing affordability crisis in the U.S. ahead of November's midterm elections might offer Canada some relief from crushing American tariffs. U.S. media are reporting President Trump may scale back tariffs on steel and aluminum. But as CTV's Joy Melvin reports, that may just be wishful thinking.
Every chance he gets, the U.S. president trumpets his tariffs.
The economy is doing unbelievable. We right now have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
But he's battling the cost of living crisis in America and low approval ratings before the midterm elections. The Financial Times reporting the Trump administration may be having a rethink about those steep steel and aluminum tariffs that could affect Canada.
I don't think it's great reporting that we saw today. If anything is done, I think it would be sort of clarification on some incidental objects, but again, that's going to be the president's decision.
Canadian metals were slapped with a 50% tariff early this year, justified as a national security crisis. Canada retaliated, but this tit-for-tat tariff blitz has led to higher costs for consumers, paying more for groceries, electronics, cans, and cars. The American Nonpartisan Tax Foundation reports that tariffs will cost the average U.S. household $1,300 more in 2026.
There's definitely pressure because it is hitting different markets, and we're seeing that in the auto sector as well. Like Ford's earnings last week were dismal. So it's a situation where tariffs don't always work.
Even if the president is considering rolling back tariffs on steel and aluminum, here's what he posted just 2 days ago. Canada has taken advantage of the United States on trade for many years. They are among the worst in the world to deal with.
U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer said there likely won't be a rollback of the tariffs, more of a clarification or possible exemption on certain items like refrigerators and washers. But then again, it's the president's call. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
A one-time GST top-up payment is coming as early as the spring after a new affordability bill received royal assent. The Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit was fast-tracked through Parliament with Conservative support, even though the opposition called it a Band-Aid solution. The payment for millions of low-income Canadians will be worth 50% of the GST tax credit that works out to just over $1,800 for a family of 4. After that, the annual benefit will work out to roughly $1,400 for the next 4 years. The country's biggest grocery chain is teaming up with an artificial intelligence giant. Loblaws is integrating its PC Express grocery delivery app into ChatGPT. Loblaws says the partnership will allow customers to explore menu ideas and create a list of ingredients in the chatbot and use the app to buy suggested items. The company says it began working on app integration last fall, shortly after OpenAI announced it would introduce third-party apps on ChatGPT. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Weekend is here. Clear sailing throughout the next couple of days, right up until Tuesday. Let's check out our forecast radar right now. We've got the system leaving the area that affected us today with precipitation, and not all that bad for the course of the next couple of days. A little bit of snow coming up on Sunday evening around supper time, Sudbury, North Bay, Parry Sound, and maybe Temiskaming Shores. Let's check out some of the overnight conditions. Chance of flurries throughout the northeast. Temperatures bearable, nothing serious here. Some light snow in Timmins and -12. Meanwhile, in Moosonee, wind chill -27. Other than that, some light snow, flurry activity, and light snow in Parry Sound, coming off some snow today, about 5 centimeters and a low of -7 degrees. Now those numbers over the course of the next few days. Sudbury nickel belt, cloud cover tomorrow -2. Chance of flurries on Sunday -2. For Family Day, chance of sleet, showers or flurries. +1 on Tuesday, sun and cloud. Chance of snow on Wednesday at -2. And Thursday -1 with lots of cloud cover. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, mainly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 0. Chance of flurries on Sunday at +1. +2 Family Day. Tuesday, we've got sun and cloud and 0. -2 on Wednesday with the chance of snow. And Thursday, cloud cover -1. Looks like the chance of snow right across the northeast for next Wednesday. But that's next week. Timmins, Cochrane Campus Casing, mainly cloudy tomorrow -2. Chance of flurries on Sunday -1. Chance of flurries on Monday +1, -3 Tuesday, sunshine Wednesday, some cloud cover -5, warming up just a shade on Thursday, cloud cover and -3 degrees. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, sun and cloud tomorrow -2, chance of flurries Sunday -1, +1, Family Day with a 40% chance of sleet. Tuesday, sunshine -1, -2 on Wednesday. And here we go again, the chance of snow Thursday at -1. Normally you should be sitting at around -7. That's not happening for the next couple of days because you've got milder temperatures and much better conditions right across northeastern Ontario. So it's a great time to take a deep breath, relax, compared to what we've had the last couple of weeks with all kinds of wind chills and colder temperatures and snow. It's about time the weather has changed. Then we have North Bay, West Nipissing, mainly cloudy for tomorrow -3, chance of flurries on Sunday -1, +1 Monday, chance of sleet. Tuesday, sun and cloud +1, -2 on Wednesday, chance of snow, and Thursday some cloud cover with a reading of -1. So not a bad forecast throughout the entire northeast over the course of the next week or so. So again, a little bit of snow, a little bit of sun, and some warmer temperatures. Let's check out the pick or picks of the day. Deer, plenty of deer. Monique Tabinski has sent this in Thursday from Callander. Great picks there, Monique. I appreciate that. She took the shots in Callander, but Monique is from North Bay. So again, cute shot there. We appreciate the great picks. And again, we'll do this all over again come Monday, Family Day. Stick around. Tony has more news coming up after the break.
It's an afternoon dedicated entirely to original music written and performed by Northern Ontario artists, and it's happening this Sunday in the Greater Sudbury community of Hanmer. To tell us more, the president of the Sudbury Performance Group, Mark Manistone, now joins us. Hi there, Mark.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. Tell us about Northern Roots.
Sure. Well, this is a new venture that Sudbury Performance Group is doing, and we're doing this as part of our Northern Arts Festival. As many people know, Sudbury Performance Group has quite a history of promoting local musicians from across the north. And more often than not, when we hire these musicians to play in local establishments, a lot of the times they're playing, you know, like the top 40 hits, songs that everybody knows and loves. But a lot of these artists that we feature on a regular basis are incredible singer-songwriters. And unfortunately, when you're a singer-songwriter, especially a grassroots singer-songwriter, you don't have a lot of options or opportunities to play your own music. And figured, well, why aren't we promoting that? Why don't we showcase the singer-songwriters in Northern Ontario and really showcase what it is that they are passionate about and their creative songwriting abilities? So we created Northern Roots, where we've got 6 artists that are going to be performing 100% original pieces throughout the afternoon at Cousin Vinny's out in Hanmer this coming Sunday.
So are the songs about the people, the culture, the landscape, and the way of life in Northern Ontario? Do I have it covered? What do you think?
Yes, and yes. It's their stories, really. It's what has come to them over the years that have allowed them to put together these incredible songs, and they're all about their life stories.
And some of the songs are really good. I went onto YouTube and I saw some of the videos, incredible, and some have performed obviously on the CTV Lines Children's Christmas Telethon. Does this give musicians, and I think you touched upon this already, an opportunity to showcase their talents to an audience that may not know of them just yet?
Absolutely. It gives the opportunity to showcase them to new eyes, but also to audiences that may know some of these artists because they see them play around town in different venues, but you get to hear a different side of them. You get to hear a more personal side of them because they're singing their own stories. They're performing from the heart. They are performing what it is that they know and love and who they are.
Mark, thanks so much for your time and good luck with the event on Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Mark Manisso was our guest, and to find out more about the Northern Roots Original Showcase, a celebration of homegrown music, head to sudburyperformance.ca. And a partial lineup for the 10th annual Rock on the River in Timmins has been unveiled for July 24th in Hollinger Park. The Friday night rock lineup will include the punk rock icons, The Offspring, Canadian pop punk pioneers Gob, the young rock band Plush, and the hard rock band from Sudbury, Fortunate Losers. The rock night will kick off the festival, and organizers say they'll soon announce the country night lineup for Saturday, July 25th. Tickets are now on sale on the Rock on the River website. The North Bay Battalion needed extra time. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. It went to a shootout and the troops finally reeled in the Brampton Steelheads.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company. Hockey This Week is back. My name is Rick Wyman, along with my special guest, Daryl Moxham. He is just back from Africa and is coaching, of course, the Sudbury Cubs. And the big push continues until, well, maybe mid-March, perhaps first place, and maybe another run at the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year. Mox, thanks for dropping by. It's been an interesting season so far. Tell me about the team.
Yeah, I mean, first off, thanks for having me, Rick. It has been an interesting season. There's no question we're off to a bit of a slow start. I think that, no excuses. Attribute a bit of that to the changing landscape we see in hockey in North America over the last 18 months or so, and quite honestly, some of the success we've had. We had a number of key guys that were, had opportunity to go elsewhere, and guys looking to jump to other leagues and some different things.
Tell me about Nolan Newton. 80 points so far, 35 and 45. He's been on a tear to lead the league in scoring. He's been your go-to guy.
I've said it on a number of occasions. I mean, since I've been here, Nolan, quite honestly, is the straw that stirs it. And, you go back to as a young 16-year-old, he was a top couple center for us and has remained in that situation. And I'm just not quite sure there's any player as good as him, maybe in the country, on both sides of the puck. That's the biggest development with Nolan. He's producing, but you can rely on him in any single situation, whether it's down 5-on-3 or up 5-on-3 or even strength.
Spencer Horgan, 4 points away from setting the all-time record for defensemen in the NOJHL. He's your quarterback, and he's doing what he has to do and making sure that puck stays out of the net.
To do what he's doing over the last 2 or 3 years, I think we were looking it up the other day on the bus. Like this record hasn't been touched since the 1980s. This is a pretty exceptional young man, and for us, more importantly, a player. His ability to read the play is just off the charts. His ability to read the play with and without the puck is again at the top of, in my opinion, the entire country. I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him, and right now he seems to be hitting his stride. He had some injuries in the summer, and it took him a little while to get going, but he's just found his stride. And again, he's no different than the rest of the guys that came back. They feel like they have some unfinished business. And albeit he's putting up points right now on the offensive side of the puck, but like you said, he's doing a great job defensively. And I know Spence in particular has one goal in mind, and that's the middle of May. So.
Okay, with that in mind, I'll leave you with this. Do you have the horses to go all the way? I mean, you've been to the Centennial Cup the last 2 years. You're going for 3. Can you do it?
It's going to be a grind. We believe we're as deep as we've ever been, and I think this year, more importantly than ever, it's that depth is going to be critical to our success here come playoff time.
Daryl Moxham, coach of the Sudbury Cubs, thanks for doing this. I'm Rick Wyman. Hockey This Week is back in 7 days.
Thanks, Rick. And the Sudbury Cubs were victorious once again last night in the NOJHL. They sent the French River Rapids home with a 9-0 loss. Spencer Horgan had 3 assists, while Owen King and Matteo Signoretti each had a pair of goals. There are 4 games on tap tonight in the NOJHL. The Powassan Voodoos will host the Espanola Paper Kings, while the Iroquois Falls Storm will be looking for 2 points in Hearst against the Lumberjacks. The Storm are just 2 points out of a playoff contention. Both those games are 7 o'clock starts. The Kirkland Lake Gold Miners need to dig up some points this weekend to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're hosting the Timmins Rock tonight, and it'll be a battle at the border with the Sioux Eagles hosting the Sioux Thunderbirds. Both games start at 7 p.m. It was an exciting night for Troops Nation as North Bay played host to the Brampton Steelheads last night in the Gateway City. The game ended in a shootout. Take a look at this.
One of the most dangerous shooters in the league, and he starts left as you predicted, Greg. Slowly, purposefully on the backhand, scores!
Nick Wellenreiter finding the back of the net to help lift his team to the big win. It was also a big night for Carter Kunopaski, who scores his first OHL goal. North Bay went on to take the win, beating Brampton 3-2. In OHL action this evening, the Brampton Steelheads will be in Sudbury to take on the Wolves at 7:05, while the Sioux Greyhounds head south to play the London Knights. Puck drop there is 7 p.m. It was a big day for Team Canada yesterday on the podium, taking home 2 silvers and 1 bronze medal at the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympic Games. CTV's Scott Hurst has more as Canada pursues its first gold medal in Italy.
Courtney Saroux proudly displays both her medals from Milano Cortina.
I feel so grateful. It feels unbelievable.
The 25-year-old from Moncton, New Brunswick, is Canada's first double medalist at these Olympic Games. She won silver earlier in the week alongside her teammates in the mixed relay event and bronze in the women's short track 500-meter.
I didn't want to leave the ice with any regrets, so I just went for it and gave everything, and it got me some extra bling.
And she has a shot at even more medals to come in the Olympic competition. Staying on the ice, a busy day for the men's curling team led by Brad Jacobs. They are the oldest group in the men's curling competition and used every bit of age and experience in a 6-3 win over the Americans, who are the youngest squad in the competition. Team Canada also beat Sweden today. The Canadian rink is now 3-0. On the women's side, a stunning upset for the top-ranked Canadians. Rachel Homan's squad lost to the Americans 9-8. With the loss, Team Canada is now 1-1 in the preliminary round. Their next game is tomorrow against Great Britain. Mark McMorris has been cleared for competition after a nasty crash that kept him out of the Big Air event last weekend. The 3-time defending Olympic bronze medalist in men's snowboard slopestyle will now get a chance at another podium. Slopestyle qualification begins on Monday. The women's hockey team is back in action on Saturday, now into the knockout round. The reigning Olympic champions will play Germany in the quarterfinals. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
And as you just heard, Team Canada played a doubleheader today in men's round-robin curling action. Brad Jacobs out of Sault Ste. Marie beat the Americans this morning by a score of 6-3. Then they took on Sweden in the afternoon draw, and Canada pulled out this one 8-6, the final. Sudbury's own Tracy Fleury and Team Hoban, as you heard, were also battling the Americans in the women's round-robin. Canada lost a heartbreaker, 9-8. The women will face Great Britain tomorrow morning, while the men will play Switzerland. Thunder Bay's Max Holman competed in the men's 10K interval start race earlier today and finished 23rd overall with a finish time of 21:56. In competition tomorrow will be Thessalon biathlete Shiloh Russo. She'll take part in the women's 7.5-kilometer sprint, while Megan Oldham of Parry Sound will take part in qualifying for freestyle skiing's big air competition. Oldham missed the podium in Beijing, placing 4th. She's already picked up a bronze medal in these games in the slopestyle. 2 new shows about private investigators are in the works. One PI is a TV icon, while the other was first seen in the movies. David Daniel has details in the Hollywood Report.
Tell me why.
You already know how it ends.
Well, then start from the beginning.
Nicolas Cage returns to his Into the Spider-Verse role in the first teaser for Spider Noir. He plays a down-on-his-luck private eye and occasional superhero in an alternate 1930s New York. The series debuts on MGM Plus May 25th and swings into streaming on Prime Video May 27th in 2 versions, true hue full color and authentic black and white. David Boreanaz is set to play an iconic gumshoe. The Angel, Bones, and SEAL Team star has been cast in NBC's reboot of The Rockford Files. The late James Garner originally played Private Eye Jim Rockford. We'll see how Boreanaz's wit, charm, and answering machine message stack up. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The high price of gold helped push up revenue for one of Canada's top gold mining companies. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
Agnico Eagle Mines is now the world's second largest gold producer, moving past Barrick Mining. Agnico Eagle mined about 3.5 million ounces of gold last year. Barrick produced under 3.3 million ounces in 2025. Both have benefited from the skyrocketing price of gold. Agnico sold gold in its latest quarter for over $4,100 US an ounce. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar did not do much. It ended the day at 73.43. West Texas Intermediate down a dime to 62.75. Western Canadian Select is down to 46.74. And the TSX rebounded today, gaining 608 points to get it back above 33,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $125.25, closing the day at $50.42 US an ounce. Silver up $2.36 to end the day at $77.41. Copper slipped 7 cents to end at $5.86, and nickel down 9 cents, ending the day at $7.67 US a pound. Now for one last look at the weather, I have the pleasure of giving you the weather forecast for Saturday. Let's start with Sudbury, -2, overcast skies, mainly cloudy, a little sunshine in through Timmins, -2. For Sault Ste. Marie, right at the freezing mark, mostly cloudy. Let's head on over to North Bay, -3, mainly overcast, Parry Sound 1 degree, cloudy conditions and a mix of sun and cloud, and -2 in Temiskaming Shores. And finally, Science North in Sudbury rolled out its newest exhibit today. Phenomena explores the world of illusions. CTV's Lindsay Aylick tells us more.
Pino Zappola explores his favorite element from Phenomena. The owner of Extra Museum traveled from Italy to Sudbury to bring Science North's latest exhibit to life.
It is highly interactive, which we know our visitors love, and it's a little bit different than exhibits that we brought here in the past. And so we wanted to give our visitors not just something that would get their minds going, but their bodies too. So everything in this exhibit is hands-on. They're going to get to experience all kinds of different illusions, and we hope that it ignites their curiosity for the rest of their visit at Science North.
From the Ames Room to the Mirror Maze, visitors can explore more than 20 illusions through hands-on encounters and mind-shifting moments. Visitors will discover how the principles of science can transform into sensations of wonder and surprise.
It's talking about how your perception may be fooled by these different exhibits, and explains how that works and how your brain works in order to interpret certain data that your eyes, ears, and other senses may be sending you.
I mean, it's really cool. Really trippy, like the mirrors I would like go right into, and I mean, I think it's like the coolest thing at Science North.
I wasn't expecting it. There was a lot of cool things. One of my favorite things were the mirror maze and the upside down room I thought was really cool.
Open just in time for Family Day and March break, the exhibit will see tens of thousands of visitors between now and April 30th. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
And we leave you this evening with some video from the setup of the Soo Winter Carnival in Sault Ste. Marie. Thanks for watching. Good night and have a great weekend.